undertaker, let me take you for a spin.
Hello, I'm Grant. I'm from County Funerals, and we post videos about the funeral industry and funeral related products. Today we're going to do a video about 5 ways to save money on a funeral. Now, with these uncertain times, the last thing someone needs is a massive bill. So we're going to give you 5 little tips on how you can save money on a funeral in no particular order. Okay, so number 1, the first thing you need to think about when you're trying to save money on a funeral is location. Lots of us will be serviced by at least 2 crematorium, possibly 3, all the way up and down the country. And it's a big difference between crematorium to crematorium, whether it's privately owned or council run. For instance, we have 2 crematorium that service us here in Hertfordshire. One of them is £1,400, the other one is £935. So that is a £465 saving just begun from one crematorium to the other. It's quite a lot of money. Similar thing happens as well with cemeteries. We'll all have a couple of different cemeteries we can go to. They'll have different prices for interments, different prices for graves, so you can shop around. If you're not tied to one crematorium, if you don't have a specific crematorium that all your family have been to and you want to be scattered and interred there, you are free to go to any crematorium up and down the country, and they all have different prices. And just because you're cremated in one crematorium does not mean you can't be scattered or interred at another crematorium. Number 2, the second thing to think about when you're trying to save money on a funeral is what time do you want the service? Lots of crematoriums offer a reduced rate for the slots in the morning. So you have like a 9, a 9:30, a 10, a 10:30, some even go up to 11 o'clock. And you'll often find that those service times, you have a reduced service time, maybe 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, as opposed to 40 minutes or an hour, but you can get them for up to half price. So if you want the same funeral in the morning, it'll be a lot cheaper. And some crematorium charge a premium for the middle day. So say you got 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, they'll actually add money on to book those slots out because they're at such a premium. So really think about what time you want the service, because the reduced rates sometimes can be applied to the end of the day. So you can get a 4, a 4:30 or a 5 o'clock at half the price. Third tip to try and save money on funerals is think about what vehicles you want on the funeral. If you are having a meet at the crematorium, so you're going to the crematorium, you're not having a hearse and limousine come to your house and you're meeting at the crematorium, you don't necessarily need a hearse to take your loved one to the crematorium. Most funeral directors have a hearsette, which is like an estate car, or a private ambulance. They can take your loved one to the crematorium, place them in the chapel before you arrive, thus saving you the cost of a hearse. And if you're thinking about limousines, by all means, you can have as many limousines as you like, but there are other options available. You can have saloon cars, you can have taxis, or you can make your own way there on public transport. This can save you quite a lot of money. Okay, number 4, think about all the little things, the small components that the funeral directors will add on and you need or want for a funeral. Some of these you can do yourself. One of the exceptions is flowers. Normally, flowers for a funeral are cheaper at funeral directors because they have a deal with the local florist, so they get them at a slightly reduced rate. However, if you know your local florist and you've been going to the same florist for years, by all means, go direct to the florist to order your flowers. Obituaries. So obituaries in the newspaper are quite an expensive undertaking at the moment. Lots of people can use social media, they can use text messages, and they can physically go around and see people. It's a lot cheaper than putting an obituary in a local paper. Sometimes the local papers will do online obituaries at a reduced rate as well, so you can look into that. The next thing is visual tribute. So at the crematorium, up and down the country, they'll charge you for a visual tribute. This is a collection of photos set to music that you then watch at a point in the service. If you're competent enough, you can do the visual tribute yourself using one of the apps on your phone, upload all the photos, and then you can just upload a video to the crematorium, and a family-made upload is a lot cheaper than a visual tribute. Alternatively, you can have no visual tribute at the service at the crematorium and have that visual tribute or whatever you're going to make with photos, photo collage at the wake after the service. The next thing we're talking about is webcasts. Webcasts come down in price due to COVID and they've gone back up in price at the moment. So if you want your service broadcast live onto the internet, you can think about possibly using your mobile phone and a tripod with a Facebook Live, or recording it and uploading it to video media sites such as YouTube and sending it to your friends and family. That way you'll be saving the cost of the webcast. The next thing is coffins. Obviously, there are loads of coffins available, so you can get cheaper coffins. Sometimes when you go in to arrange an attended service, the funeral directors won't tell you that there are cheaper coffins available for direct services or unlaminated coffins, and these are available to you. You don't always have to get your coffin through a funeral director's. I know that sounds weird, but more often than not, it is cheaper to get a coffin through your funeral director's. This is kind of a biggie. It might be hard to get your head around, but you don't have to have a service at a crematorium. Say you was having a service at a church, or you wanted a service in a pub, or you wanted a service in a community centre, or a nice hotel or wedding venue, and then you had a direct cremation after that. Now that means all of your loved ones, all of your congregation stay at the venue you've had that service, have the wake, or they don't go to the crematorium. So there's no service at the crematorium. That way you get a direct cremation price, which can often be as low as £400. So you're saving yourselves a lot of money. So when we're talking about crematorium pricing, like I said earlier, there's some crematoriums that charge £1,400, some that charge £930. For a direct cremation, you can get that cost of cremation right down to as little as £275 or £400, depending on where you're going. So you can save that massive chunk of money, that £800, that £1,000, and you can put that into a really nice service somewhere else. But it does mean you don't get to go to the crematorium. So you'll have your complete funeral in a location, whether that be a church, a pub, a community centre, a wedding venue, a stately home, or even at home in your own garden. There's nothing to stop you having a funeral service at home. And then you would have a direct cremation after the funeral. You'd save yourselves, on average, about £800. Okay, thank you for watching. That was our top 5 tips on how to save money on a funeral. So if you want to, you can like and subscribe. I know it helps us. It helps the YouTube gods as well. You can find us wherever you can normally find people, on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook. We have our website as well. And if you want to, you can send us an email. You can even pick up the phone and speak to us directly. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you again soon.
Well, I'm your friendly undertaker. Let me take you for a spin. Yeah, I'm your friendly undertaker. Let me take you for a spin. I got a